brand new Firefly Les Paul copy, the Pelham blue finish and the dual P90s with the frosted kind of knobs, black pickguard, black poker chip, and then also the neck carve, the heel carve. And I thought that's a really interesting feature. So it's kind of cool to be able to get a guitar like this for a little over 200 bucks. The guitar itself feels really well made. The finish on this guitar is actually fantastic. I mean, it looks very similar to Gibson's Pelham blue finish that I really dig. You know, for those of you who follow Rick Beato, you know that he just recently released a Les Paul Jr. with a Pelham blue finish and the kind of the black color scheme, and I really dig that guitar. So when I saw this on the Firefly website, I just had to instantly buy it. I bought it on a Friday and yesterday is a Wednesday, so that's a pretty good turnaround, pretty good shipping, and very impressive guitar. Weighs just like my other Les Pauls, right? It feels very much on par with a typical Les Paul. I want to say this is about a 9-pounder, maybe a little less. It feels really good. It feels solid. Doesn't feel cheap at all, but you know, does it feel like a real Gibson? No, not necessarily. I mean, I would say that this guitar feels more like an Epiphone, right? The real Gibson's got that nice nitrocellulose finish, and that one, you know, anytime I pick up a Gibson, it smells great. It's got a really just high quality feel to it. But you know, the nitrocellulose can get pretty sticky too, so that one, you know, is not necessarily all the best. This has a really thick looking finish, but you know, it doesn't feel cheap at all. I feel like the workmanship on this guitar is actually really good. Like I said, definitely similar, if not better, to like an Epiphone type guitar or an LTD or a Schecter. Very much on par with that. This guitar's got a 3-piece mahogany body. It's going to be hard to see on the camera, but I see at least 3 pieces of mahogany that was put together. Like I said, I'm really enjoying this heel carve right here. It makes playing up in the upper register so much more easier, especially for somebody like me with very short stubby fingers. I think the neck angle is not as crazy as the Gibson. I think Gibson's got a 17-degree neck angle. This one doesn't look like it, so you know, which is I think that's a little bit better. Hopefully it's a lot more robust than a typical Gibson Les Paul headstock. The knobs feel kind of chintzy, so I already ordered a set of Gibson black knobs to match this guitar. So I'm going to be replacing that, but that's purely for aesthetic. I mean, they work really well. You know, it is a Les Paul, and it feels like a Les Paul. Does it sound like a Les Paul? I think you're definitely in the ballpark. You know, a Les Paul, a true Les Paul will run you about 2-3 grand easily, and this is 200 bucks. So, you know, there's that. So this is a guitar that I plan on just kind of leaving here in my garage, and you know, it's still a really good player. I don't think a guitar like this will hold you back whatsoever. I feel like you know, this will allow you, if you're a beginner, allow you to learn songs. If you really kind of dig that Les Paul sound, this will get you there. I mean, this is a good, you know, take you to that ballpark. You can just learn some, you know, you're going to play that, or you know, screw that up. Man, I can't play today. Yeah, it'll do those kind of stuff easy. Okay, so why don't we, let's check out some tones. So I kind of have it set up normally as how I would EQ, you know, my settings. So here we go. So that's the neck pickup. Let's check out the middle setting. Let's try out the bridge. Okay, now back to the neck. There's definitely a few cosmetic flaws, I would say. So underneath kind of the body of the guitar, there is a little tiny hole next to this pickguard screw right here. Oh, and then the switch tip that came with the guitar originally was black, but as soon as I tried to put it on, the tip basically cracked, and so that one broke. Took a photo, emailed it to Guitarsgarden. I'm still waiting for a response, so we'll see how they try and fix that. Not too concerned though. Other than that, I mean, the guitar, again, for 200 bucks, $220, this is pretty solid. Well, since we have a Les Paul here, why don't we try out some dirty tones, right? So let's check it out. Okay, just to kind of go over the pros and the cons of this guitar. So as far as the pros, I want to say that this is a beautiful guitar, very well made, you know, good wood, all mahogany. I'm not sure if it's got a maple cap on it. It's probably just a solid mahogany. The binding work is pretty damn good, I would say. The finish, the Pelham blue, kind of the Gibson Pelham blue replica, I love it. I think it looks pretty sharp, and it pairs really well with that lighter mahogany finish in the back. Like I said, the hardware is decent. Apparently it's got full-size pots. I haven't opened it up yet, but as far as all the reviews I'm seeing on YouTube, that's what they all say. The tuners feel really solid on here. Like I said, the fretwork feels really good. No fret sprouts whatsoever. And you know, it's 230 bucks. As far as the cons, when it arrived, it's got a little nick. It arrived with a little hole right there, right next to the pickguard screw. I think that's pretty much the only like cosmetic flaw, really. I think I already mentioned too that the switch tip kind of broke as soon as I tried to install it. The binding, although the actual binding work is pretty impeccable on this guitar, the binding itself, there are some parts that are more yellow and some parts that are kind of more white, so it's kind of a little inconsistent, which doesn't really bother me. It is what it is. It looks kind of cool, actually. It's got kind of a vintage vibe to it, so that's not bad at all. The taper on the volume knobs, definitely more consistent with the cheaper guitars, you know. So you don't get a really nice, good taper when it comes to the volume and tone knobs. You basically, it's like nothing, 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 and then all of a sudden off. So you can't really play around some of the much more higher end guitars. You can really make good use of the independent volume for each pickup. That's not necessarily the case with this guitar. I mean, you can kind of make it work, but your range is very limited to really, I would say, from 0 to 2 and then to 10. Nothing really kind of in between, and that goes for the volume and the tone knob. You know, other than that, going back to pros, I do think that this neck heel carve is certainly a pro. I really I enjoyed that a lot. So yeah, 230 bucks, solid hardware, decent pickups. You know, I didn't really talk about the pickup. A pickup is okay. It's workable. The mono price I thought had nicer sounding pickups. So I'll play around with it. I'll play around with the pickup height a little bit, and you know, see if I decide to keep it. But you know, even if I have to replace it, you can pick up some really decent P90 pickups nowadays, either from Amazon or through Guitar Fetish. You know, 60 bucks, maybe 70 bucks will get you a nice pair of P90s. So I'm not too worried about it. But before I go that route, I definitely want to play around with the pickup first and see if I can make it work, which I think, you know, I can. It's not terrible. It's not bad. I know Firefly's got a bad rap for being microphonic. This is really not that bad. I'm going to crank up my amp to really demonstrate. So my amp's really cracking at this point. It's not really feeding back like some of the other microphonic pickups are. So I'm pretty sure it's wax potted. You know, it's not the best sounding P90, but it's also workable. I feel I can make it work. So we'll see. I'm not too thrilled. So I would say I'm kind of on the fence as far as the pickups. Here you go. This is my very first Firefly guitar, and pretty happy with it overall. I mean, you just can't beat it for the price. 230 bucks out the door. I'm a happy camper, you know, for sure. The guitar looks great. You know, I don't mind some of the minor imperfections. I would totally rock this on stage. I think it looks fantastic. It looks great. I love that kind of that Pelham blue with the light mahogany back. I think that's a great, you know, it looks great. It's got great contrast and everything. You know, my first Firefly guitar, but most likely not gonna be my last. I'm already looking at some other models, and my wife's gonna kill me, but I'm already looking at some of their Flying V models. You know, like for me, I'm gonna keep this in my garage. A beater guitar that you're not gonna freak out if it gets stolen, or if you drop it or break it, you know, or if you just want to learn how to do your own setup or do your own electronics. I think these are great project guitars, the Fireflies, for sure. So yeah, there it is, $230 guitar. It's beautiful, plays really great, no buzzing, and it looks really cool. So hey, I'm digging it. Firefly, there you go. Maybe I'll pick up on a Flying V next time. So there it is. If you have any questions, just feel free to drop it down in the comments, and I'll see y'all later.